On paper, it looks like the most powerful robot vacuum Dyson has ever made, but in practice it proved to be a double-edged sword. In some rooms it cleaned like a beast, in others it stubbornly got stuck or forgot entire corners. It surprised me by being phenomenal at fine dust, yet surprisingly weak at basic mapping and edge cleanup. Design and build quality. In real use, the 360 Vis Nav feels premium, solid plastic throughout, a smooth top shell, and a clean ejection mechanism for the dustbin. The D-shaped body is Dyson's attempt to hug walls more closely, and yes, it does reach closer than circular bots in some spots. The touchscreen on top is responsive and gives you status info, though you'll rely on the app most of the time. One weakness: the glass dome over the camera is delicate. I flipped the unit over carefully one day and regretted it. The dome cracked. Dyson stresses you should place it gently rather than drop or rest it on hard surfaces. Compared to a Roborock or iRobot Roomba I've used, the build is in the same premium league, but the fragile camera and exposed bumper edges make me worry about longevity in a busy household. Key features in action. 1. Suction and dust extraction. This is where Dyson wants to win. The vacuum's hyperdymium motor and cyclone design deliver enormous airflow. In my tests on hardwood floors, the machine snatched up fine dust, cereal crumbs, and sand with ease, even in auto mode. On rug edges, I ran boost mode, and it sucked in more than many bots I've owned at max power. The experience of flipping the bin open and seeing a fine layer of dust, rather than mostly just crumbs, was satisfying every time. 2. Edge cleaning via side duct. Because Dyson went for a full-width brush bar, there's no traditional spinning side brush. Instead, an extending side duct redirects suction near walls. In theory, this is clever. In practice, it's inconsistent. In a few rooms, it did pull in debris near the skirting board, but more often, it would veer away slightly and ignore the very corner, leaving a sliver of dust behind. Traditional robots with side brushes often flick debris toward their main roller better in those tight spots. 3. Mapping, navigation, and smart modes. Dyson uses a 360 degrees vision camera approach rather than LiDAR. The first mapping pass is slower than most robots I've used. It zigzags, pauses, scans. After a few passes, the map stabilizes, but I still saw errors: rooms missing, misaligned walls, or the robot failing to return to the dock cleanly. On multiple occasions, I commanded it to clean the kitchen zone, and it went elsewhere first, ignoring that zone entirely. Auto mode worked fairly well in open rooms, but when clutter was high, the bot either hesitated or got stuck. In comparison, my experiences with lead DR-based bots have been more consistent in layout recognition and edge-to-edge mapping. Dyson's visual system is ambitious, but I sometimes felt raw suction couldn't compensate for missed coverage. Performance and daily reality. In a typical weekday clean, I'd hit auto overnight, let it run through living room, dining, and hallway. On hardwood and rugs, it fared admirably. Dust disappeared, no obvious patches of debris, and it returned to its dock cleanly. Battery life in those modes was solid. Dyson claims up to 65 minutes, which aligns with what I got under light load. In tougher scenarios, deep in a carpeted zone, or in rooms with chairs, cords, and clutter, it slowed, reoriented often, and occasionally got stuck. Also, when battery dropped mid-run, it returned to dock, recharged, but sometimes navigated back awkwardly, repeating already cleaned sections. Compared to some high-end bots I've tested, the Dyson felt stronger at raw pickup but weaker at robot aspects, navigation, avoidance, and completing a full coverage map with minimal human intervention. Limitations and trade-offs. No self-emptying dock. You'll need to empty the bin often, especially in a home with pets or kids. Navigation is hit or miss. The visual camera approach can struggle with low contrast zones, dark rooms, or cluttered layouts. Edge and corner cleanup is weak occasionally. Some dust will remain along walls. Delicate parts, camera dome, need extra caution in handling. Lack of mopping. If you want vacuum plus mop, there's no built-in wet cleaning. If you live in a cluttered, irregular home, or expect set it and forget it reliability, some of these compromises will annoy you. But if your priority is suction and dust extraction, the trade-offs may be acceptable. Final verdict. Buy this if you prioritize brute suction power, and want a robot that can actually pull fine dust and debris off multiple floor types, even if it requires more maintenance or occasional babysitting. This is for someone who doesn't expect perfection from mapping, but values raw cleaning results. Skip this if you want flawless navigation, edge-to-edge automation, self-emptying convenience, or a robot that works reliably without intervention in complex rooms. A LiDAR-based bot with a good dock might serve you better.